Meanwhile, selected on the 40 for the Lily Whites is Niall Buckley, whose family tree line would suggest honours aplenty, and who in 2 major matches against the Dubs so far has contributed 7 points. It's the type of atmosphere you associate with All-Ireland final day itself. Tommy McDermott from Cavan, who last week handled the Ulster final, takes command of this 104th Leinster final. So the match underway, and Dublin gaining the first victory here. They won the toss, playing with the wind of the first half from right to left as Martin Lynch belts this one forward. Paddy Moran. Paul O'Neill starting life on the wing all right, but at left wing back. Moran once again, finding Jack Sheedy. Point-winning hero in the semi-final, of course, against Meath. Touchdown by Davy Dalton, picked up here by Desi Farrell. Wind assisted now, kicking in, no real trouble to goalkeeper Christy Byrne. Glenn Ryan now, seemed to be fouled in the back by Charlie Redmond.
The most surprising change in the Dublin team, I suppose, is Eamon Heary playing right half forward, where he did very well against Kildare in the league quarter-final, and Paul O'Neill at left half back. Desi Farrell at centre half forward, Charlie Redmond at left corner forward. A lot of changes all round. Pat Gilroy left half forward and Paul Beelan centre field.
I suppose it's getting to the stage where we should put down team sheets just numbered 1 to 15. Howsoever, here's Niall Buckley linking up with Glenn Ryan. The block there by Desi Farrell. It reaches Keith Barr. A booming one down towards Charlie Redmond. Charlie claiming that he was being pushed. Getting nothing, however. Seamus Dowling, as expected, switching across to right corner back. Now Desi Farrell. Again trying to look for Vinnie Murphy, cut out by Dowling once again. Dermot Deasy under some pressure. This is carried on here by Anthony Rainbow. Paul McLaughlin, first scoring attempt for Kildare. John O'Leary having to adjust his footing and avoid Liam Miley, who was lunging in that time. And referee McDermott allowing an advantage to the Dubs. Paul O'Neill. Challenged by Dennis O'Connell. Held up there by Paul McLaughlin. It's quite ferocious early on. Really intense battle. McLaughlin across towards Miley once again. Touchdown. That's Paul Beelan, well away from the forward position in which he was supposedly selected. The referee wants attention for Paul Beelan.
Liam Miley beaten in possession there, and Paul Beelan, who is playing at centre field, and a bad kick from Johnny McDonald really should have been a booking.
Barr striking it well towards Vinnie Murphy. Fly kicked away by Davy Dalton, picked up by Jack Sheedy. A little nearer the corner flag than the post just to the left of the goal.
I wish he did that the last day.
Thereby speaks a Meath man. 20-year-old Christy Byrne kicking. Dennis O'Connell pressurised, picked up by Seamus Dowling. Looking composed in his early minutes, but holds on too long. Free from a very kickable position for Charlie Redmond in Dublin. Just 5.5 minutes gone. He scored 1-7 against Meath. It's a million number of steps taking it round the corner. It works a treat. Dublin in front. 6 minutes gone on the Hill of Light. Not too pleased with himself, the 57-year-old team manager. Curran's kick, deep one in towards Vinnie. Vinnie has it. Oh, referee's going to throw the ball in. Glenn Ryan just looking at it. It's Eamon Heary who's taken it up the right half forward, remember. Paul Beelan going in there. Challenged strongly. It reaches Niall Buckley. Now Glenn Ryan floating it forward there to Paul McLaughlin. Rainbow wanted to keep the momentum of the attack going. Good ball inside towards Johnny McDonald. Miley having to follow it up. It's picked up by DC instead for the Dubs, who lead by a point to nil. The point after 6 minutes from the free from Charlie Redmond. Jack Sheedy way into space. Martin Lynch covering it up. There was only one Dub there. That's Vinny. Well, Charlie Redmond in the background saying the referee should really throw the ball in here. Martin Lynch in some distress, having covered that ball going across there. Watch it again.
But Jack Sheedy kicks the ball down to where his own man is, and Vinnie Murphy comes in hard from behind. The referee has let go a lot of challenges much worse than that, so I can't see why he's booking Vinnie Murphy for that particular one. But with Jack Sheedy and Martin Lynch marking each other, both of them are taking roving commissions, and both of them are going to be loose quite a lot of the time.
Kicked across here towards Dermot Doyle. Paul O'Neill is in command in that particular situation. Jack Sheedy, lovely outside pass that time. Now Beelan. Nice move by Dublin. Eamon Heary. Supported here by Charlie Redmond. Held up there. Kildare protest that Charlie might have held the ball too long, but the referee right alongside him whistling up for the free kick to Dublin. The second possible score here. Couple of Kildare players just standing in front there, and Eamon Heary is shouldering as well. Meanwhile, Charlie composing himself to kick it nicely and through the post. A second point. Charlie underlining there the value of a very reliable place kicker in the modern game. 2 points to nil. It's a Dublin side today with 5 players seeking their first championship medal here in Leinster. 10 of them have shared 25 medals so far. And of course Kildare seeking to bridge a 37-year gap. And that was Jack Sheedy adjudged to have pushed Martin Lynch, pleading his case. So Paul McLaughlin seeking to put Kildare on the scoreline. It's outside the 45-metre line, drifting away the whole time. And some of his forwards giving him words for that pass, which was neither a shot nor a pass in truth. Dublin have settled much better in this match overall. Physical presence as well, which Kildare have been slow to meet. The measured build-up again by the Lily Whites. Glenn Ryan now trying to take it through the heart of the Dublin defence and set something up eventually. Johnny McDonald taking it through, fouled. Well, the Dublin backs claiming that Johnny might have taken a bit of a dive going over a leg that time. It's a difficult enough one for referees to call because of the pace of the game nowadays. Niall Buckley, who's Kildare's leading marksman to date in the championship with a goal and 13 points. This should be point number 1 for the afternoon. He's drilled it over unerringly. All the points in this match so far coming from frees. And a kind of stop-start game. 2 points to 1 then.
That was a really silly free for Dublin to give away. Plenty of backs in there, and Desi Farrell or Paul Beelan comes in with a challenge and takes Johnny McDonald out of it, but there was no need for that at all.
Ball touched down here to Pat Gilroy, trying to get by the attentions there of Dennis O'Connell. It's Jack Sheedy. Suddenly there was space in front of him and Vinny was waiting for it. Davy Dalton back there minding the house, anxious to get it out anywhere. Very well caught by Dermot Doyle. Dennis O'Connell outside now for Seamus Dowling. This is a bit more like it now. They can draw level here. Johnny McDonald going forward. Paul Curran going back. Still McDonald. They win the free-in. Huge roar of approval from the football fans from County Kildare. In terms of football success, it's been a famine area for over a quarter of a century. How they'd love to win this afternoon. Buckley can pull them level here. He does so. 18 minutes gone in the first half. I just wonder if it's going to develop into a match between the kicking skills of Charlie Redmond and Niall Buckley. Kick out quickly taken to Paul O'Neill of Fingolians. Jack Sheedy, the high challenge. Paul McLaughlin, the Kildare player involved. Inevitably Keith Barsing put it on the ground. Well, there was some rain here and Jack Sheedy slipping there rather embarrassingly. The top surface may be a little bit slippery. Paul McLaughlin very deep. Niall Buckley likewise. Blocked down there by Charlie Redmond. Just 2 men in the full forward line. Dropped down by Jim Gavin. Brian Fahey trying to make it his. Desi Farrell has it. Snapshot outside wide. And a second wide for Dublin. Just one for Kildare. Fisted down emphatically by Paul Beelan. Vinnie Murphy trying to slide onto it. Jim Gavin is to his left. Desi Farrell's inside. And the foul results in another Dublin free kick. Davy Dalton in some considerable distress. Ball has been thrown in, the referee deciding there was blame on either side. Let's hope it doesn't get out of hand now, because it is a fiery and tempestuous match so far. Dennis O'Connell has it. From a possible situation where Dublin might have had a free at the other end, it's Kildare in the attack. But again, that last pass from the middle of the field, rather aimless. Dublin measuring their passes that bit better. That's blocked down there by Paul McLaughlin. Glenn Ryan has it, but the referee's whistle has sounded. Glenn playing away. Dublin get the free kick just inside the Kildare 65-metre line.
Well, Dublin are forced to play the ball short because Martin Lynch is lying back in front of Vinnie Murphy. Ball half back him. But Glenn Ryan comes in very, very high on Charlie Redmond, undoubtedly a free.
Charlie's okay, the distance out quite considerable, so it's going to be Keith Barr who will kick it. Again, as Colm O'Rourke is saying, Martin Lynch playing a very deep game right on his own goal line right now, alongside the inexperienced Christy Byrne, facing what perils may accrue from this kick. Great deep one. Lynch in there. Drops it down. Vinnie Murphy trying to scramble for it. Davy Dalton forced to fist it out. Didn't really go anywhere. It's gone to Jim Gavin. The pressure remaining on the Dublin backline. Charlie Redmond has it. Blocked down by Dennis O'Connell. Charlie back once again. Pat Gilroy calling for it. The good long pass delivered to Keith Barr. Beating the block, making the kick inside. Fisted by Vinnie. Dropped down to Gavin. Gavin fisting it, but he's put it outside and he's put it wide. An exciting bit of play, but not producing a score at the end. Muted reaction on Hill 16.
Good ball in by Keith Barr, and when it breaks down inside, Jim Gavin has a very good chance of punching a point, and he should have punched it over the bar. Tried to do the right thing, but punches it wide.
4 minutes to go to half-time. 2 points apiece. One of the lowest scoring Leinster finals I can recall for some time. The wind almost blowing the ball back somewhat. Niall Buckley, scorer of both of Kildare's scores. The leg left in a bit long, and it's going to be a Dublin free kick.
Dublin need to get these threes away much quicker, because it's given the Kildare backs a chance to reorganise every time they slow it up.
Paul Curran kicking it in well towards Vinnie Murphy. Letting it slip down, but catching it once again. And he's booted it wide. It's going to be a difficult half-time team talk for Mick O'Dwyer and for Pat O'Neill, redeploying their forces, getting the tactics right and so on. It's hard enough for us to decide before the matches where the players are actually going to play. Dublin with 6 wide so far in this first half. Paul Beelan doing a very useful job picking up a lot of loose ball. Desi Farrell in pursuit over there. It's Liam Miley, ostensibly the Kildare corner forward, back around his own half-back line. Kildare with just 2 attackers, really. Dermot Doyle and Johnny MacDonald. Even Doyle now is drifting way back. It's a very strange sight indeed. Martin Lynch standing right in front of his goalkeeper as this is kicked in deep. Out to Sean McGovern. It reaches Paul McLaughlin. The full forward, about 40 metres from his own goal, kicking into space. Inevitably, there's nobody there. But there's a race on here. Dermot Doyle beaten for it by Paul O'Neill. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Jack Sheedy now meeting the attempted block, reaching Paul Curran. Kildare with plenty of men back there, and inevitably one of them is Martin Lynch. Martin Lynch getting away with that challenge on Vinnie Murphy. Vinnie went down fast, making it appear that it might have been a foul. Dublin with just 2 points from 10 scoring chances against 2 points for Kildare from 6 scoring chances in this first half so far. Seamus Dowling. Back there, sweeping this time is Paul Curran. Jack Sheedy. He loses it, but the ball favourably dropping back into the arms of Paul Curran once again. Now Kieran Walsh was given directions by Curran that Paul Beelan was free. Controlling with some difficulty, kicking, looking for the first point from play. It finally comes in the 34th minute of the first half. The Dubs go back in front, Paul Beelan supplying that lead point.
Well, that's the way that Dublin must get their scores, because with Martin Lynch dropping back, he's covering off the long ball into Vinnie Murphy, so they should work it short in the middle of the field. A very good point from Paul Beelan.
Christy Byrne will be happy enough to delay a couple of seconds. Ball running away from several players, judged well by Keith Barr, knocked forward. 3 Kildare players in their eagerness going for it. Glenn Ryan booting it clear. Half-time whistle has been sounded. I make it with about 20 seconds still to go. But Kildare will be very happy. They gambled in the first half, strong in defence. They'll have the win for the second half. And you just wonder whether a 1-point lead for Dublin will be sufficient to see them retain their Leinster crown. Niall Buckley, the scorer of 2 of those points. Liam Miley is down on the ground, by the way, in an incident that occurred as the players are leaving the field. And there's some jostling just outside the tunnel as well. There's Miley down on the ground, and the officials here at Croke Park trying to get everybody in. It's tempestuous, to say the least. And at half-time, it's Dublin 3, Kildare 2.